Jesus in the book of Daniel. And I heard the man clothed in linen, who was standing over the waters of the river, who lifted his right hand and his left hand to heaven, and swore by him who lives forever, that it would be for a time, times, and half a time. Since I was a child, my mother would read me the Bible before I went to sleep, and many times the book of Daniel was the star of those nights. There's something special about Daniel. His stories are full of epic characters, kings, archangels, and as we'll see now, Jesus himself. Yes, I believe Jesus is the man clothed in linen that Daniel speaks of in his last chapter. Why do I believe this? First, because of his clothing, since linen is a symbol of the priesthood, and Jesus is our high priest. Second, because he is standing on the water, since only Christ walked on water. And before creation, the Spirit of God also moved over the face of the waters. Third, because of the oath, because only God can swear by himself, as he did with Abraham. The book of Daniel and the book of Revelation are full of parallels. Both prophets describe visions of the end times, and both show us a divine being who reveals himself among humanity. And this is not his only appearance in Daniel. In chapter 10, a glorious being is described that matches John's vision in Revelation, when he presents himself as the Alpha and the Omega. If this man is Jesus, his words become even more powerful. When asked when the end of the wonders of Daniel 12 will be, he raises his hands to heaven and answers, "It will be for a time, times, and half a time. And when the scattering of the power of the holy people is finished, all these things will be fulfilled." What does this mean? For Daniel, the message remained hidden. But today, we can get closer to its meaning thanks to the Bible. A time, times, and half a time could refer to many things. The 7,000 years of human history, including the millennium prophesied in Revelation, the 7 years of the last week of Daniel's 70 weeks in chapter 9, or the 3.5 years after the removal of the continuous sacrifice. So, which of these is the correct time frame? That he swears tells us that this is something certain, firm, and extremely important. But why is it so important? When Daniel asks in more detail, he receives another answer. From the time that the continuous sacrifice is taken away until the abomination of desolation, there will be 1,290 days. Blessed is he who waits and reaches the 1,335 days. Many people have tried to use these figures to calculate the exact day of Christ's return, but I don't think that's the purpose. This is not a code to predict a date, but a countdown of hope. When someone serves a sentence, they count the days to their freedom. When you have a debt, you calculate how long you have left to pay it off. This is the same thing. When the time comes, those who remain here, in the Great Tribulation, will know how much time is left. And that countdown will be a sign of hope. That's why Jesus swears by the one who lives forever, so that no one has any doubts. But then, from when will those who remain here have to start the countdown? Well, it's clear. From when they were left behind. That is, from when God takes his people, gathering them in one place where Jesus is. Then what was said by the man who was standing over the river will be fulfilled when he swore. And when the scattering of the power of the holy people is finished, all these things will be fulfilled. Praise be to the Lord of heaven and earth, because he hid these things until our time. Yes, Father, because it pleased you this way. And you, do you believe that this man who is standing on the water is Jesus? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for visiting this channel. Subscribe and keep discovering a new world.